Hey guys, what is up? Heat here. Today we're going to be going over a video on how to install Arch Linux in a virtual machine. You can do this on hardware. It's going to be pretty much identical to if you were to do it in a virtual machine. I'm just doing it in a virtual machine for the sake of this video. I'm going to be using VirtualBox. Open your VM of choice. Obviously you need the Arch ISO. I'm not going to hold your hand over installing an Arch ISO. Just know you can get it off of archlinux.org. There should be a specific download page there with a whole bunch of servers that host it. I'm going to create a new virtual machine. I'm going to call it Arch. It's going to automatically choose Arch. I'm going to give it 4 gigabytes of RAM. I'm going to give it a 32 gigabytes of space. Maybe a little bit excessive for this video, but that's what I'm going to do. Alright, now that we have our Arch virtual disk saved, go ahead and create the virtual machine. There's a few settings we need to iron out in here. Go to the System tab, Processor. I'm going to add 2 cores. I'm going to enable EFI right here because I'm going to be doing an EFI install. I'm going to crank up the video memory to max, go to storage, and I'm going to put our disk file that we've downloaded to this. Now that we've got those settings all figured out, let's start our virtual machine. Once our virtual machine has booted up, or your real thing, or your real computer, sorry, we're going to do an LSPLK. We're going to find our drive, SDA. We can see it there, 32 gigs. We're going to type CF disk. We're going to type in GPT since we're going to be doing an EFI install here. Could be different for your computer though if you're not doing it on a VM, so just be careful about that. We're going to make the boot drive 128 megabytes. And we're going to leave the rest all to the Linux file system. We're going to go up to SDA1, change the type to EFI. Now that this is all done, we're going to click Write, Yes, and then we're going to quit out of CF disk. Now that we've partitioned our drive, we're going to make the file systems mkfs.fat-f32. This is going to be on our dev SDA1, so type /dev/SDA1. Clear mkfs.ext4/dev and then /SDA2, since that's my Linux file system right there. Note, I'm not going to be doing swap. If you are doing swap, you're going to have to do another step. Other videos should cover that. Now we're going to mount onto our file system. So type mount /dev/SDA to whatever your file system is. Mine is SDA2 obviously, and then space and then /mnt. Now we're going to do a packstrap command to /mnt. We're basically installing Linux in this one command. So base linux base-devel and linux-firmware. I'm also going to install vim, and I think sudo is already covered by the base-devel package, but we're going to install it anyway. Also neofetch for later. Once that's done, we're going to clear the screen and we're going to generate our fstab with this command. So gen fstab -u/mnt 2 > signs, and into this directory we go. It's going to be /mnt/etc and fstab. Let that generate. Once it's generate, we're going to chroot into our Arch install. So do Arch chroot, then mnt. Going to look a little different here. It's all normal. Do not freak out. Now we're going to set our time zone. I forgot to do this at the beginning, but do time date ctl set-mtp true. Once that's done, do time date ctl just to make sure it's all up and running. It is. Now we're going to do ln-sf user share zone info. America for me, and Anchorage is my time zone. It should be fairly straightforward on the time zones. Hit them. If you're in America, choose America. If you're in South America, there should be a South America option. If you don't know, you can tab in this directory and it'll tell you all of the time zones. Obviously, I'm in America. And you can display all 145 possibilities if you want. So I'm going to go with Anchorage since that's where I'm currently located today. And we're going to spit this command out and do /etc and local time. Once that's done, We're going to set our hardware clock. So HW clock --SYSTOHC. Now we're going to get a editor because we're going to need an editor for this next part. I use Vim. If you want to use Nano, you can use Nano. Do whatever you want. I prefer Vim, so I'm going to use Vim. Next part, we're going to Vim into etsy/locale.gen. We are going to go find Ian_US for the keyboard layout. I found it. I'm going to uncomment this and I'm going to right quit out of that. If you have a different keyboard layout, you're going to want to uncomment that and do the exact same thing that I'm going to do here. I'm going to type locale-gen. Now we're going to need to set our host name, VIM into Etsy, and then host name. I'm going to name my machine Archbox. Right quit out of this. Now here comes the more difficult part. Not really difficult. You're just going to need to pay attention here. I'm going to Vim into Etsy/hosts. We're going to create a few more lines in here. We're going to indent a little bit. 127.0.0.1. Tab over localhost. Type everything I'm typing here. I'm obviously doing 127.0.0.1 tab localhost. Enter : 1 tab localhost. And for this last one, it's going to be a little different. 127.0.0.1.1 tab over, do Archbox, so your hostname .local domain, and then tab over more time and type in your host name again. Now we can right quit out of this file and clear our screen. Now we're going to set the password and add users to our computers. So let's type password to set the root password. There we go. Now we're going to add a user. So user add -m and then the username. I'm going to do Heath for simplicity here. Now we're going to set the password for the user. So password space the user's name. Admin, of course. It's not my actual password for absolutely anything. I'm just doing that for the simplicity of this VM. Now we're going to mod this user to the wheel group. So user mod -a. After you do user mod -ag and type in wheel, you're going to need to space and add your username that you used for the account, obviously. Once we clear that, we can install sudo. We already installed sudo earlier, but if you somehow didn't, do pacman-s and type in sudo. Mine's already installed. Now we're going to change our editor to Vim. If you're using Nano, do Nano. I'm using Vim. And type in editor equals Vim vi sudo. We're going to find the wheel group. It's down here. Comment this out so we have perms on our account when we log in. Right quit out of that. We're now going to install our boot manager. It's going to be grub, so pacman-s grub by boot manager DOS fs tools mtools and os-prober, just in case you have a dual boot. It's always helpful to have that on the machine anyway if you want to set up a dual boot later on, which I'd highly recommend. Now we're going to create boot folder. So type mkdir/boot and EFI. Our boot partition, so dev/sda1 2/boot/EFI. Do our grub install now, so grub -install --target equals x86_64 -EFI --boot loader ID equals grub _UEFI --recheck. And you should get installing for x86_64-EFI platform with no errors. Installation finished, no error reported. If you see that, you're A-OK to go. You are absolutely in the green. I actually did a whole video before this on VMware without enabling EFI, and I wasted about 20 minutes, which was not fun to say the least. Now we're going to make our grub config with grub-mk config -o/boot grub, and grub.cfg. So now it should obviously found Linux X, initRD, and fallback, all done successfully. Clear out of that screen now. Now, once we actually get into our install, we're going to want internet. So let's do pacman-s network manager. Install this. It could take a little bit depending on your internet. It should be quite a fast install for me, so I won't cut. You're going to want to type the following command in: systemctl enable network. Clear out of the screen. We are completely done with the Arch installation. I'm going to type in exit umount-l/mnt. We can reboot. Once we've rebooted the machine, we should be loading in. It should give us a login screen now. It's still going to be on the terminal. After we reboot the machine, it should give us a page like this, and you've successfully installed Arch. Type in your password and username that we created earlier. We should have all sudo commands, so sudo pacman, let's just do -pfetch. It's just like a smaller version of neofetch. Give the password. It's not found because we don't have the repositories updated. Maybe pfetch just isn't on here right now. I have no clue. We can do a neofetch from earlier. Everything's working. Congratulations, this is your first Arch install. I'm not going to be going over how to get a GUI desktop environment yet. I will be making a video tomorrow actually about how to install a desktop environment. And then the next day I'll cover window managers because that's what I personally use. I usually use XFCE for a desktop environment if I do use a desktop environment because I like how light it is, simplistic it is. And I use Xmonad for a window manager, so I'll be making sure to go over those on another video this week. I will want to credit someone for this video. I did actually learn how to install Arch Linux from a guy named DistroTube, so this video has taken massive inspiration from him. He's an awesome YouTuber. You should go check him out. Extremely entertaining content, really down-to-earth guy. For one, I enjoy his content a ton, and I think you would too. Assuming if you're on my channel, you probably already know about that guy, but in the off chance you don't, his channel is going to be linked down in the description. And I think that's it for this video, guys. I'm going to have a few new videos going up on the channel this week about how to get a desktop environment, and yeah, peace out.